Hey guys, welcome back to another training. In this video, we'll be looking at advertorials once again, so this is part 2. I know we looked at this topic before, but there are a couple things I just wanted to review and emphasize. We'll take a look at examples that we've looked at before, but I also want to show you some new examples as well. So this will round out the entire training on advertorials, or commonly known as pre-sale pages. So let's get right into it. So a lot of this information we've covered before, but just to recap, advertorials educate and prime the audience before making a sales pitch. The advertorial is the page between the ad and the sales page. So let's say someone clicks on a Facebook ad, they're led to the advertorial, and then from the advertorial they can click to the sales page. And so having that page in between is super important for multiple reasons. Number one, you're making a much softer sell. Somebody who clicks on the Facebook ad and goes to a advertorial, they're not immediately concerned, or they don't suspect that they're going to be sold to. So it's a lot easier to use your direct response marketing tactics to channel their desire, to trigger their emotions, to get them into a buying state. So like I said before, it's all about priming the audience before making the sales pitch. And so a lot of advertorials are formatted as news stories or articles, news articles. And so they don't even look like, somebody's trying to sell something. They're usually articles ranging between 750 and 1,400 words, and they convert cold audiences into buyers with basically better education. And so one of the main benefits of having advertorials before you jump to the sales page is that you can test many different angles rapidly. For example, if you have a sales page and you're running ads directly to the sales page, every time you want to test something new out, you have to change the whole sales page, the whole copy there. It could require you to change the entire sales letter. Whereas if you have your sales page, you can keep that constant and just change the advertorial angle. So you can try all sorts of different angles. We've talked about these angles before in my prior training on advertorials, but I've written them below down here where you see those different structures you can use. But you can rapidly iterate and test different types of angles just by changing that page before the sales page. And so it's just a more effective way of testing your marketing strategy. Another benefit is that you can use direct response tactics while keeping your main page, your main sales page, your whatever it is, a Shopify store, fully branded. And so you see a company like Blissy, we've talked about Blissy many times, they have a very branded store for selling their pillows, but the advertorial adds that direct response element to it. So basically, with an advertorial, you're just telling a story that explains the pain point the main character went through and what he did to solve it. That's how easy it is. And we'll talk about their other alternatives, and we've discussed them in the past. But if you can just tell a simple story like that, somebody had a pain point, you describe their experience, and then you talk about what happened, what triggered, something went wrong, and they were forced to find a solution to that pain point. So that's where you agitate. The first step is at pain. The second step is agitate. A journey is set into motion to discover a solution. And usually the main character is some form of the customer avatar. And they either research and find a solution, or they go to an expert. The expert recommends a solution, or perhaps even like a family member or a friend finds a solution for them and recommends it to them. And finally, you get to the solution part of the advertorial where you describe how the solution has resolved their pain points, what their life is like now, and what to expect when you purchase the product. Hopefully, you're explaining how they're going to get the same types of benefits. So we talked about all this before. This is the typical structure for an advertorial, and at the end of the day, it's all about taking those emotions that are already within the customer and those desires and channeling them onto a particular product. They want to lose weight. Well, they're going to read a story about some woman's weight loss journey, And that journey is going to culminate in that woman buying a certain kind of product, as maybe some kind of supplement. And so all of a sudden, using that story, you're triggering emotions that primes the audience to buy that supplement. And then they're led to the sales page, where it's a lot easier to make the pitch to get them to buy. So structures, nightmare story using demonstration. Again, you're telling a nightmare situation where somebody experiences some kind of horrible pain and they're on this journey to solve it. You can also use a disrupting company or business owner model, the review model, a third-person news story, a listicle. You can use all that stuff. We covered those examples in part one of the training. So I'm not going to get into them too much here. One thing I do want to cover is jump pages. There's a big difference between advertorials and jump pages. Comprehensive advertorials will often make the sales pitch at the end, and they'll describe what it's like to use the product, the benefits you get from the product, while jump pages are more curiosity based, and so they just exist to get the reader from the ad to the sales letter or the sales page. And usually these jump pages are included for compliance issues. So especially with Google Display or native, you don't want somebody going from the ad directly to the video sales letter. So they'll throw in this jump page, and we can take a quick look at a couple examples there. So let's go into the new examples I want to show all of you. I believe I may have shown some of these before, but let's do a thorough review of what I've got here for all of you. All right, so the first example we're going to look at is an advertorial selling some kind of pain patch. So if you haven't seen my prior trainings on fascinations, on story leads, on story-based emails, and things like that, make sure you watch those things, because I'm not going to cover those concepts here, but those concepts play heavily in this advertorial. So make sure you review those concepts before reviewing this. Now, the first thing you're going to see is the headline. Is this weird 3-inch patch the pain-controlling miracle seniors have been searching for? It's a fascination. This headline uses those elements of the fascinations, those curiosity bullets we've talked about. But it also injects this element of a newsworthy item too. It sounds like seniors have been looking for this. It's like a news event in a way. So using this kind of phrasing, I've seen it done in different ways. Like seniors demand, seniors are loving this product. Using those kinds of phrasings, you can turn a fascination into a more newsworthy event. So that's the first thing that jumps out to me. Now, as I discussed in my story leads training, it starts right in the middle of the action. Why won't Grandpa come out and play? I'll never forget hearing those words that came from my 8-year-old grandson. And so it talks about this moment. It talks about the emotions related to the pain point, and then it jumps through. It really starts doing that punch to the gut test, where you're just going and hitting these emotions related to the pain. My knees aren't what they used to be, the pain, swelling. I'm not the same fun, lively person, and my family has noticed it as well. Their Sunday evening dinner plans seem to be getting canceled more frequently lately. Really hitting those pain points, those secondary pain points, stemming from the original pain, and talking about the emotions related to it. It talks about golfing. The doctor told me I shouldn't golf anymore. So clearly this guy is in a nightmare situation, right? Now he's going to start teasing some of the benefits, or teasing the solution. If you feel this way and put up with any form of occasional muscle and joint aches and pains, then pay close attention to this next part, because I'm going to reveal how I discover the best and unexpected solution that has helped me ease my occasional aches and pains, so that I can keep living my happy, healthy lifestyle. So again, a little bit of a fascination they can throw in there, teases something, keeps the reader wanting to read more. He shares something, he's tried everything in the book, didn't work out. And then, going along with that pain, agitate, solution structure, the neighbor comes out. The neighbor tells him about this patch. So now you're introducing the product. You've triggered all these emotions, and now you're channeling those emotions onto this 3-inch patch, the offer that is going to be the solution. So he was skeptical. He quickly found out there was 0 THC in it. That may have been an objection in this niche. So really, really important to address that up front. And then it goes into his whole experience. You can see this is a full-blown sales pitch in many ways. It's not just a jump page. You're talking about the experience, the solution, how life is now. It talks about what makes the patch so special. And, then it gets to, okay, where can I buy it? You can click here to discover how you can feel great today. It's a good call to action. A lot of advertorials use the standard check availability. And also, if you have any objections, it's going to, throw the 100% money back guarantee at you. It's going to, talk about certain closes, like how much longer will you go without real pain controlling support, blah, blah, blah. For only $4.95 a day, patches may help support your occasional joint muscle discomfort. So what are you waiting for? Apply discount and check availability. So multiple calls to action if you weren't convinced and didn't click the link up here. So very strong advertorial here. It's a great format to follow for pretty much any offer that you could think of. Next up, we have a jump page, which you'll see doesn't do a lot of selling, unlike the advertorial we just saw. So this jump page is in between a native ad and the video sales letter. And the headline here is very contrarian. New anti-aging discovery says to stop moisturizing. Now, that goes against all conventional wisdom that you should moisturize to stay hydrated and keep your skin looking young. So, contrarian statement creates a lot of curiosity, makes you want to read more. So, it's a very short article. Again, it's in the article format. You can't tell that something is going to be sold here. And the only purpose of this page is to get the viewer to click to the next page, right? So it's very short and to the point. It talks about a simple solution that fails people all around the world. Research shows commercial moisturizer does nothing to improve your skin, your aging skin, and moisture and hydration are often used interchangeably, but there's a big difference. So if you want to learn more about it, you'll have to watch this video that contains crucial information for anyone suffering from thin, wrinkled skin on the body. So it's very straight to the point, and this is what I would classify as a jump page. So this next example, I'm actually not a big fan of. It's not something that I would do, but I found it running on native. So it seems that this offer is doing well and this page is working. But there are a lot of items here that I would try to avoid. So let's go right through this one. I'll point out the things that I don't like about it. But again, it doesn't really matter what I think. Really, it all that matters is it going to bring in sales? And the fact that it's running on native, and I've seen this quite a bit, probably means that this page is working. But still, there are a few things that you could probably improve about this page. So this advertorial is structured as a review, like a product review slash a news story. So top doctors now recommend next generation CBD gummies that are 450% more effective than anything they've seen for pain, stress, better sleep, and even shedding pounds. This is, again, in terms of a curiosity bullet or fascination, it's not very strong, but it is a news article format, so I can see it being effective. Hazel Hill's CBD gummies cure joint and muscle pain 5 times better than regular CBD oil. I don't know what it means to cure something better. I think that copy can be improved. And have the add bonus of decreasing body fat, now available in the United States without prescription. Okay, again, nothing too crazy here. I'm not a big fan of the copy, but from a compliance perspective, it's fine. I mean, cure better. I mean, that's tough from a compliance perspective, but still, it does a trick, I guess. I also don't like the fact that they have the product featured right at the top. Usually, you don't want to give any indication that there's a product being offered until the end of the advertorial. But in this case, because they are leading with the product review, it's probably okay. Scrolling down, this is literally a sales letter, a sales page disguised as a news story. It literally just talks about the product why it's the features, the benefits, why it's better than hemp. As you scroll down, you get this testimonial from a 46-year-old mother, her experience. Here's a science behind it, how effective this CBD product is compared to its competitors. Again, here are your benefits, testimonials, 100% money back guarantee, and where to find it. So this is literally a sales page. It has all the features of a sales page, but it's described in a news article format. So another, I would say, opportunity for all of you guys to consider when creating your advertorials. You can literally take your sales page and convert it into an advertorial. I would just kind of fix the copy here, but maybe it works out. Maybe it works out for them, and that's totally fine. But you can take this format and turn it into something a little more special, I think. So definitely a good format for all of you guys to follow. So that's really all I have for today in part 2 of the training. I just wanted to basically clear up any questions that you had. I know my first training was pretty detailed, but I felt that I really wanted to hone in on what an advertorial does, what it is, and like what the structure really looks like. I think I want to make sure that the structure is very clear to all of you. So with that being said, I think this wraps up my part 2 training of advertorials. If you guys have any further questions, please let me know. I know that these concepts are not, the difference between a sales page, advertorial, what you should include on an ad, what you should include on an advertorial versus what you should leave out. Those are important questions. And so if you have any questions about things you guys are working on, let me know. Always happy to take a look at your copy. So hopefully this will guide you in terms of how to structure your pre-sale pages. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next training.